Hey guys, this is Andrew G, and today I want to talk about crafting. What is crafting about? When is it worth it? Is it worth it? A lot of people ask me, is it worth it? Oh, I heard it's so expensive. Um, that's a good question. Is it worth it? For me, it's always worth it. It's always worth it if you do it on the right conditions. You need to know. You have to. You need to have a lot of knowledge. You need to have knowledge about the market, because crafting is not just about having a good row. It's about having a row which gives you the return of your investment. That's about crafting. And therefore you really need to know the market prices. I've seen a lot of videos about crafting from different streamers and YouTuber, and I've seen so many mistakes doing it, crafting, re-rolling tons of good roads. Uh, Laying 10 gloves into the stash and aiming to have good roads. They say good roads. But what is a good row? A good row is a row which is needed by someone on the market. If you start crafting with the aim to get the best row ever on this just one item, you will you will you will get poor very fast. You need to know when to stop at the specific item and sell it, so you can get more currency out of this row and use it for another row. And therefore, if I craft, I always have PoE trade open. Sometimes I don't know if someone needs any row. I don't know if, for example, someone needs st- strength on gloves, or do they need physical damage on gloves? Is there any physical damage build with energy shield? Is there Does someone need mana regeneration on a shield? Does someone need mana regeneration on a ring? Those are roads I don't know sometimes, and so I keep steadily checking all the roads I have, and with the experience of checking the prices, you get a good idea about the market. You don't need to check all the time. You will know it from one day on. You will know, okay, damn, 65 mana regeneration on a shield. Yeah, they need it. They need block chance on shield. They need it. Yeah, with those are stats I don't care about for my builds. I've never played a block build. I never had issues with mana regeneration because I almost just play mana leech builds. But since I've checked a lot of items I was crafting, I know the market right now, and that makes my crafting very efficient, and that makes me rich. That's what's about crafting making you rich, knowing the market and knowing the good roads. The good roads are useful. Um, how do you start crafting? First of all, you you should start crafting with a base um, that is worth to craft. For example, if you aim to get a good ring, a good damage ring, or a good defensive ring, it's not worth it to craft a gold ring. It's not worth it to craft a gold amulet. You know, uh, you need to know what does the market need. They most likely need steel rings. They need opal rings. They need uh, citrine amulets, for example, and different kind of amulets. Uh, you need to know what the market is asking for. And so if I craft, I choose the big items. I choose the items which get paid the most, and Um, it's every single league till now. I don't know what's happening with 2.6 or 3.0. Till now, it's always energy shield. It's always energy shield. It's always the absolute best meter for body armor, and it's a steering. It's a harbinger bow, but you never craft harbinger bow unless you have 100 exalts or more. Um, yeah, that's what I go for. I go for energy shield gloves. I go for energy shield helmets, and I go for energy shield breasts, body armors, breasts. So I gather up. I have a stash which I just pick up the items I want to craft to, because the fingerless silk gloves were a big meta item in this league, because a lot of player was elemental flurry with a crown helmet. I don't know what's the name right now, but it boosts your attack damage. Normal attacks, doesn't matter, physical or elemental, gets increased by spell damage. So these gloves were very, very popular at the time in the league. So I decided to gather them, but I stopped crafting them. I started to craft some sorcerer gloves to have a bigger base for energy shield. The difference between both, they don't have spell damage, but they have a bigger base of flat energy shield, so they can roll bigger. They can have bigger rolls than in energy shield. If you wanna craft, you need to know which roads are possible on item levels. For example, it's not worth it. Is this worth it? Is it not worth it? It's not worth it to craft an item with not the best item level to get the best roads. For example, all these hubris have at least 82. But the best row is 84, I think. But it's okay if I go for 82, I think. But 84, you should go for 84. Gloves always 80. 84 is very expensive to get, because what does it mean to have item levels? For example, I don't have it open right now, but if you go to poemods.com, you can check all the suffixes and prefixes, and there is a table which shows you which row is possible on which item level. And for example, the resistance, there is a row the resistance can go up to 48%. But this row is just possible if the item level is at least 84. And so if you start crafting, you will check first what item level do I need to make the best row, the perfect row possible. You don't want to go for item level 40, for example, and you're just able to get 30 fire resistance on it. You don't want to make this. Crafting is too expensive to make such a thing. That's would be a bad move, and you don't want to make it. Okay. As I said, it's important to know which crafts are worth anything, and since yesterday I started to craft a lot of chests, because it's the end of the league and I have a lot of currency, and I just thought, let's go for a lot of chests, and I got a lot of roads which are very close, being not good. Not good means I pay 4 exalts for every base, right? I pay 4 exalts for a white 6-link Varigaya with item level 84, for example. And the market actually is like, if you don't hit the 850 plus energy shield, it's just worth it, like 4 exalts. So you need some decent roads to make it a sellable item. And actually I have a lot of life hybrid life roads, as you can see. So I still hope I can sell them. Um, but in the end, maybe I don't. Maybe I need to sell this just as a wide row, as a base, because it's too bad, because the market doesn't pay it. So you always need to check if it's worth it anything. Is it worth it to get more? It's always the question. Does the row I just hit give it? Does it give me more currency as I paid for the base? If I get like 10 chaos more than I paid for the base, I sell it, even if it's just 10 chaos, because these 10 chaos will give me the opportunity to roll 10 more times at the next base. I will get the next base, make 10 chaos plus at the base before, and then I will just re-roll the 10 chaos on the next chest and maybe hit the big roll. I will hit the jackpot maybe. So that's what I'm aiming for. I still hope I will get more than 5 exalts. I hope for. But if I price it 4.5 exalts and nobody will buy it, I will just re-roll it. I will just re-roll it and hope to get a better roll which I can sell. And the same way, you go the same way all the time with every single item. You will go for steering, you will go for amulets. Crafting is hard. Ring as well. Gloves, belts, helmets and chests are kind of okay to craft. It's not too hard to get a good roll, but at the state of this league it's getting harder, because there are so many good rolls on the market, and you have to compete with a lot of sellers, and so you need a better roll in the end. At the start of a league, I mean, at the start of the league, this roll would sell very fast, because the 760 at the start of a league is a pretty big deal, but now it's not anymore. Yeah, so in the end, as a conclusion for my first guide about crafting and how to start crafting, and the basic, the overall basic of crafting, never re-roll a sellable craft and sell it as soon as you, as fast as you can, and go for the next base, buy the next base, roll it, win, sell, always. Don't re-roll. Like I've seen yesterday a video about a guy spamming 600 Ks on a steel ring, and then moaning about bad votes, down votes. Yeah, moaning about because he skipped roads which were worth like 4 exalts and more. He just skipped them. He just said, "Oh, that's not a good row. I don't want that. I don't want that row." Yeah, he just threw away 12 exalts, 13, 14 exalts. And then he's moaning about downvotes because people that can't afford even to have 1 exalt are getting furious about this waste of currency. It's just a waste of currency. It feels like I throw my food on the ground and I stamp on it without any sense. There's no sense. Okay, guys, keep up with crafting. Yeah.